So, bam! I can officially say what up, Yang Gang, for the first time in a while. On the Trickle Up, we got Tom from Nerds for Humanity back on the channel. Welcome, Tom.
What up, Yang Gang?
And of course, we got Mia in the house as well. The Sunday night routine continues. So, guys, big thing is Tom's here to give us an update on ofthepeople.us. Just so you guys know, it's ofthepeople.us, not .com, not like that.
Yeah.
And so when I make a clip, I'm going to put the link in the description banner as well, this description box. You guys can go right to it. It's not hard to find. So what's new on the ofthepeople.us, Tom?
Yeah, I can give you guys a quick demo. Let me just share my screen here.
Absolutely.
And so if you go to ofthepeople.us, it gets you to this landing page here. You can learn more, but the main thing is up here. You click on candidates, and then you can filter the candidates by topics of interest. So that's a fairly new thing. So you can just say, I want people who've added UBI to their tags. And then this is a trending list based on who has gotten the most approval votes in the last, I think, like 2 weeks or something like that. So you can see Ali Dalzimer, and then if you can see a little bit about her background. There's a link, obviously, to her site. We're going to add a Twitter handle in the next month or so you can follow her. But then you can also vote to approve. And then basically this ordering is based on who's gotten the most approval votes.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, and then any candidate, if you're looking at it and you're like, hey, how come, some candidate that you really like is not on there, it's totally free. So anybody can put themselves on there, and It's free to vote. It's free to be listed. The whole point of it is just to help people discover candidates who are first-time candidates or trying to challenge an incumbent. If any of these OTP candidates win, then we're not going to prioritize them for their re-election, because the whole point of the people is new fresh ideas, new people. Like, it's great for people who are doing a good job and want to be re-elected, but that's not what we're for. We're really focused on fresh candidates, fresh perspectives, just more competition. So that's what we're up to.
Well, once you've won once, it's also significantly easier to win.
Yeah, you don't need any more help getting exposure after that.
Yeah.
Particularly not the grassroots level as much.
One more time, I didn't hear you.
Particularly not as at that really micro grassroots level as much.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think once you are an incumbent, you attract a lot of people that want to be in that realm and that sphere, and you're not going to struggle to get a lot of volunteers and stuff. Whereas if you've never run before, you're challenging an incumbent, you're kind of a long shot. So, OTP is all about helping long shot candidates get another look.
I think it's 92% re-election rate, right? As of 2020.
Yeah, over 90%, and most people who make it to Congress also have served in a local office. So we also have some people that are running for city council or state rep, and we think that's a mayor. So we think that's really important. And if someone gets another volunteer or another donor, or they just get another look, and then maybe the press takes someone a little more seriously, that's a great step forward. And the UBI list of candidates is really cool, and it's great to see people getting supported. And we decided to go with the approval method rather than saying just pick one UBI candidate you like. You can just approve as many as you like, and then we'll calculate who are the most approved and order them as such. And then later we're going to add sorting by newest, by most approval votes, lifetime, by trending, and we'll just keep adding. It's an all volunteer effort. There's about 5 of us, and we pitch in a few hours a week on the weekends.
Are there any? Oh, sorry.
I did not see a search button on there. Is there a way to filter out some of the other options?
Yeah, that's a great question. So right now, I'll show you again. Share screen. Here we go. So right now, the best way to do it is by filtering by tag. So you could say who's supportive of the Green New Deal? And then you'll see these candidates. Now, we are adding search that's on our list, but in the meantime, worst case scenario, you can do the old Control F and search for like Ali Dalzimer, and then you can do Control F and search within the page using your browser search. But definitely, site-wide search is coming soon. We have a bunch of new features like Twitter integration, easier to follow the person on Twitter, but then also we'd like to build a feed of tweets from all of the candidates that you've approved, so you can see like what they're saying lately. Another one would be a feed of tweets from candidates who you've not yet made a decision about, and so you can kind of learn more about them that way. So there's a long list of cool stuff that we're working on, and it's an all volunteer effort, mostly people who in their day jobs work in the tech industry and want to give back a little more through this project.
Well, I'll tell you, I know it's a pain in the butt. I built our own website, and it took me like a whole day just to figure out how to put a damn search bar on the website, man. I was like, what the hell am I doing? It took me an entire, like, it felt like a work day just to add a search bar. I thought, God, that's pathetic.
Yeah, it's like YouTube. Like a lot of people from the outside, they're like, oh, well, you just whip together a website, and it does take a little longer than it looks.
And it's not free.
Yeah, it's definitely not free, but we've been grateful for our volunteer team, and then we have a bunch of Patreon supporters that help pay for the hosting fees and for the.
I'm one of those people.
Like you are, boys, one of the earlies.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I hope to get my name on that list because I'm looking into running. So
that'll be super cool. Yeah, we're gonna add on the homepage a big kind of hero treatment for some of the trending candidates to give them a little more kind of high exposure that way. And then I also, for Nerds for Humanity, generally will interview and invite people to come on the Nerds for Humanity show who are trending on OTP. So it's kind of another benefit.
Yeah, it's a good scheduling system.
Yes, that's right. You should feel free to use it as well.
I probably should, man. It's been a while.
You can you might discover some people who are a little off your radar.
Well, actually, I just found Dr. Cindy. I'm sorry, I'm looking up at my whiteboard, guys. Dr. Cindy Beignet, another guy named Phil Air, EHR. He's running against Matt Gates. Marcus Flowers is running against Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
And Dr. Cindy Beignet is running against the senator from Florida. What's his name? Marco Rubio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's some people out there. I'm finding more people that are progressive. We got to show them some love, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's some really good placement for your whiteboard. It makes it look like you're like thinking about it instead of looking at it.
It's like right there.
Rattling off the names. He's got a photographic memory, right?
Yeah, not that good. But do you have any like mayors for AGI on your list yet?
We have a lot of the mayors for Boston we added, and then but I don't think we have any mayors for AGI. So we could so that's actually one of the things when we started OTP, we had some of our volunteers create profiles for candidates so they didn't have to come and figure out how to set it up. We've been debating whether we should continue doing that, just to kind of fill out and add more and more candidates that you can learn from. So that would be like Yelp in the early days when they would list a restaurant, but it wasn't really like the restaurant that went up and listed themselves. They have to claim it. So that's something we've been talking about. Oh, maybe we should add more candidates. Right now we're focused on making the supporter experience a little bit better. So like, what if when you're looking at the stream of candidates or the list of candidates, you can approve them or you can skip. And skip means that we'll basically record that you've considered them, but you've decided not to approve. And then later on, you come back a few weeks later, you can say, just show me the people I haven't reviewed yet. So it's almost like an unread experience in your Gmail or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think we're spending a lot of time now improving that supporter experience. So it's worth coming back a few times. But then after we do that, we'll probably invest more in recruiting more candidates and getting more candidates' profiles up there.
Should people go on Twitter and tag their local?
Yeah.
They like to have, like they could tag them on Twitter and say, hey, of the people.
Please list yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. And then
there's a challenge.
Yes. And then any candidate, like it's literally 3 minutes to add their profile up there. And it's just like continuous exposure. It's another link for for search engines to kind of find you. And
Mhm.
then, of course, if you get a lot of approval votes, you move up on the list, and then we can kind of feature you on the homepage, get you on Mindful Skeptics and NFH and all these good things. So,
Yes.
yeah, hopefully we're trying to build a virtuous cycle, but it's one brick at a time, and
You got
it's
it.
going to be a process. But hopefully by 2022, it can be useful as a resource to people who are thinking about, oh, are there opportunities to support a candidate who may not be local to me, but shares a lot of the values that I have or cares
Yeah.
about the same priorities and is starting to get a little bit of traction.
Well, and if you have, that's also something we can do is on our local level is say, okay, my state House of Representatives, my candidate for this area is isn't aware of it. Take it upon yourself to make them aware, inform them that this whole thing, because trust me, candidates, especially new candidates, want all the exposure they can get.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Yeah.
And they don't care how and when and how it comes, but and this is just another way of getting interviews and more exposure.
Yeah.
And the big thing is, guys, it's on us to inspire our local people to get involved and say, hey, have you ever thought about universal basic income? Have you thought about human-centered capitalism and all these different things we're fighting for? It's just another tool that we can use.
And if you are a volunteer for a candidate and you get that candidate's approval, if they say it's okay, anyone can actually create a candidate profile of the people and just do the work for the candidate.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if a candidate ever contacts us saying, hey, I don't want to be listed, then we'll honor that.
Mm-hmm.
But this way, you don't always have to make the principal do the pushing of the buttons to get them up there. You can just do it for them. But we do ask that you get permission from the candidate or someone on their team first.
Well, I think you're going to get a flood of people come December when all these new districts are drawn. This year. That's what I'm waiting for. I don't know what district I'm even in.
Yeah, that's right. No, there's a lot of people that are listed that they just say, running for Congress in the state, but it's like Sass, I think he's not sure what district he's running in yet, but he's on OTP. And so, we expect to see more then. And then we've also been doing some contests.
Speaking of,
oh, there he is.
Sass is in the house.
Oh, yes. Since he's in the house, hold on. Let me just show you, just for proof of OTP participation. So thank you, Sass. So if I do, let me go to the top here. I was searching for, I don't know. Let's see, Control F, SASS. There he is. Hey, he's listed right here. And then if you want, you can vote to approve him, and then he'll be bumped up on this list and move closer to the top. Right now, he's number 3 already.
Hey.
So
now there's no best hair filter because
Please do that. Look at this.
It's I don't think I could pull that off, but he's got
it's glorious.
I can't pull many hairdos off.
Oh, you could get the purple beard. You could get a little beard out.
I've already lost one bet with Dr. Jermaine Johnson last year. I had to dye my beard black before I shaved it off. That was enough.
Oh, that must have been cool. How did it look?
Oh my God. Well, the thing was, when he came on here, it was a couple weeks for his election. He's like, somebody in the comments during a live stream said, "Hey boys, why don't you dye your beard?" And I'm like, no. And then Dr. Johnson says, well, how about this, guys? If you guys donate within the next 24 hours, $1,000, Boyce will dye his beard. I was like, wait. This is my beard. And he's like, come on, brother. You won't do it for the cause? And I was like, see, damn it. I was like, fuck it. Let's do it. And
he asked you this on the live stream?
Yes. And then
so you're on the spot. Yeah, you
over
can't say no to
$6,000 over $6,000 were donated in 24 hours.
Oh wow, you may have to.
So that Friday, I invited him on back Friday. I was like, "It's on, man." I took a picture of the beard dye. I was like, "All right, Dr. Johnson, here we go." And then that following Friday, we live streamed. My girlfriend helped me dye my beard live. And then
So how long did that last? It must last a while, right?
It was just a couple. I shaved it off a couple weeks later as a fundraiser for the Trickle Up for help pay for the website because it's not free.
Oh man, it adds up. It all adds up.
You damn right. But yeah, I'm just super. Sass says There we go. Hey man, I think if we get more supporters, maybe to do the beard thing, or I don't know, mullets seem to be a thing right now. I don't know.
I am not dyeing or changing my hair in any way for any candidate. I'll buy a hat. That's fine.
Yeah. Speaking of, I gotta send you a hat, Mia.
I need more hats.
Yes.
I like hats that I can't wear because I look ridiculous in them.
You have a hat collection and know where to put it on.
Yeah.
SAS is currently number 2 on our UBI candidate list.
Nice.
And I bet you if some people listening to this go to ofthepeople.us, sign in and vote to approve SAS, he'll probably move up to number 1. And
Challenge accepted.
Let's say it's 15 minutes in. At the 30-minute mark, when I drop, we'll check if SAS is number 1, and if he is, I'll personally donate $50 to him.
Bam! There it is,
there
guys.
you go, SAS. Tell your followers to vote to approve you on OTP, and
all right, guys.
Wins.
If you're watching this, make a clip and put it up. Challenge accepted. I love it.
Says I'll let someone give me a makeover.
Oh wow!
I think that don't let them ruin you, man. You look perfect. You look perfect.
I wonder what the makeover for SAS would look like.
I don't want them to put somebody like that in a suit and a tie.
Yeah.
No.
You would de-sass him.
Remain free.
Yeah. You'll lose your sass, man. That's
you gotta
not
let
good.
SAS be SAS.
Hey, Carnage is on it.
All right.
You know who else could use a vote?
Who's that?
Sheridan Lund.
Yes.
Sheridan?
He's on that list.
He's number 4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a good kid too, man.
If Sheridan gets to number 2, I'll donate 25 to him.
There it
I'll
is,
do 50
guys.
to Sassy for number uno, and then we'll do 25 to Sheridan. My wife is going to kill me.
Must say, you better stop writing them checks, Tom. No more live streams for you, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. It's fun. It's Sunday night. It's been a good weekend.
But I think that's a good idea for us as viewers of your channel and supporters of what you're doing and supporters of the whole movement is at least we can do is tag people on Twitter, your local representatives, say, hey man, you should be on ofthepeople.us and just really get that out there to all the candidates that are local to you and nationwide. If you know a good candidate, like Sheridan, like SAS and whatnot, more of them would be huge. What we want to do is get some winners on that board for the ofthepeople.us. We gotta get some dubs, man.
Yeah, no, that would be amazing. I mean, if one OTP candidate makes it through, it'll be for sure worth it. But even if no one made it through, but they challenged the incumbents to be a little bit more on their toes and to give a crap a little bit more, that's good. That's still good for humanity as well. Just kind of keeping the incumbents honest. But yeah, of course, we'd love to get it.
So Tom, you shared on Twitter you have your top 5. Who is your top 5 right now total?
Yeah, well, let's see. I can pull it up right now. It looks like Mr. Sassy moved up to number 2 recently. So let me refresh it. So number 1 for UBI is Shervin Azami running for Congress District 30. Then number 2 would be Mr. Sass, who has a lot of tags. Number 3 would be Allie Dalzimer.
Where is she out of? I've never heard of her.
Allie's in Virginia. She's great. She's super, very big on environmental protection and climate change. So that's, I mean, she's also pro UBI.
Yeah.
Sheridan Lund, who's running in New Mexico, and then Austin Searle, who's running for Senate, I believe, in Utah. So that rounds out our top 5.
Utah. Okay, I'm going to reach out to some of those people. I haven't talked to them before.
So check them out. And it's kind of fun. It's cool. Like it's kind of it's reassuring seeing all these kind of new faces and energetic people putting themselves out there. I mean, they're obviously going for long odds, and it's not like the conservative move to do this, to kind of put yourself out there, but they're doing it, and hats off to them.
Hey, I give anybody props just for putting themselves out there, because you are like exposed when it comes right down to it to being attacked. Let's be real, because that's what happens.
Yeah. You can't please all the people all the time. It's drama. Yeah.
Yeah, and people fighting for power are particularly nasty when they're displeased with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not all of the time.
Yeah, but we got to just keep doing our part, guys. From the comforts of your home, you can help by using social media to do these things to expose people. It really is. It costs you nothing but time, and we all got a little bit of time.
And what would be cool is if other creators or journalists start using OTP to kind of scout and find interesting people, like that's also neat too. So,
Absolutely.
I think what we did was before we started it, we were like, hey, there's Ballotopedia, which is a pretty comprehensive list of like results and things like that. But what we're trying to do is make it a little easier to discover and find people based on policies and location and kind of areas of interest, and then also incorporate the approval voting, kind of the wisdom of the crowd, to highlight kind of maybe people that are just starting to get a little bit of traction.
Like Rotten Tomatoes or something.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah, a little Yelp or whatever. So, so I think what we concluded was that, well, this doesn't exist today, partly because it does require engineering and design and kind of product development and maintenance and operations. And that's so, like, if you want to start a business, like that there are easier ways to make money, especially if you have technical skills and you can build things like that.
Those skills, yes.
Right. So, then you would be better off building like the next Clubhouse or something like that. But I guess we thought, like, okay, but the world, like, democracy needs more kind of infrastructure to enable more competition. And if we can get a group of volunteers who are familiar with product development through their day job, but are willing to pitch in like a few hours a month, like over time, we can build something pretty interesting, and that'll be really useful. So we'll probably, we're excited. It's been like, I think we started it about a year ago, and we're just going to keep plugging away.
So I think last time you're on, it's probably like January.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe before we launched, or we just launched it. Yeah.
I think you just launched. It's been a while. It's time flies when you're having fun.
It's also, how it is, like when you're working with volunteers, people have other things come up and they're like, hey, I was looking to do this, but I can. And so like, it's a little bit different than if you had like a full-time team working on it, but we're getting there. I'm pretty proud of what we've done. We just added some new volunteers who've been amazing. So shout out to Lucas and Don, who've been helping out some new features that we're working on, like the homepage featured candidate. And then also we're working on an idea where you can publish a list of all of your approved OTP candidates, so other people can see like your curated playlist of candidates.
Yeah, your top 10 or something.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So
what would be fun? If you like made the graphics for them into like little trading cards, like Pokemon cards or whatnot, so the tags were the powers or the attacks or whatnot.
Oof. I think that's a great idea. That is work, though.
The little nerds will like it, right?
Definitely, the nerdlings would love that. Yeah, they've been doing some volunteer work for me. Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I might pay them, the nerdlings, to create profiles for candidates that we don't have on there. And so, because what we did find was a lot of candidates were like, oh yeah, I'd love to be listed. And then you say like, okay, well, go to otpofthepeople.us and click on, create profile, sign in, and, either they're super busy and they're like, well, look, OTP is still a little bit of a small site. It's not like New York Times, right? It's not like everybody's going there. Or they're technically not that comfortable, and they'll put in like images that are like weirdly formatted and doesn't look good, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're definitely challenged.
So that's why we have some volunteer interns that are in college that helped us create a bunch of profiles, and we'll keep doing that as we move on.
So if someone wants to volunteer or donate, how they find that on the, is there a place?
Well, yeah, there's a contact link on the website on ofthepeople.us. They can just email me, Tom@ofthepeople.us.
Okay.
And we have some volunteers that are helping with recruiting candidates and creating candidate profiles. We have some that are more technical, that are working on the back end engineering or the front end engineering, UX design, marketing. So really, like, we could use help wherever.
Yeah.
And all that we ask is that you probably do want to carve out like a couple hours a week, and you've got to be willing to be involved for like at least like 3 to 6 months.
Mm.
Because we've had some people want get excited, and then maybe they might kind of lose a little steam,
Peter out. Yep.
and then you're like, oh, I've got this quarter done project, and we got to start over basically. But
Man. Trust me,
you-
I know what you mean, because when I started Trickle Up, we had like 25 people like, yeah, Trickle Up, and then there's like 4.
Well, it's hard
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people were expecting, oh yeah, other people has a cool idea, and it'll take off real fast. And I think most of us are playing the longer game, saying, no, we're gonna kind of do this like one foot in front of the other, and then we might look up and it'll be 2024, and we might have like thousands of candidates. But for now, like, we'll be excited if we get hundreds.
Right.
We're at the stage where you're establishing credibility and seriousness.
Mm-hmm.
Name recognition.
You don't want to be like viral and like peter out.
Yeah.
You want to build something that actually means something, and I think that's what the time aspect is.
Yeah,
putting in the work.
Yeah. And that's why we're spending so much time now on making the supporter experience a little bit better, so that like if you go to OTP now once, you're like, okay, that's cool, but we need to make it so that you go to the site like a few times a month, or like at least a few times a year, and be able to kind of like have your list of favorite candidates, see their recent tweets, see the trending ones, see the newest, maybe see the ones that are geographically closest to you, or people who like this candidate also like this candidate who you haven't checked out yet. So there's a bunch of things that we'll want to add on over time, and stay tuned.
Would you be okay with me making a video of each tab and say, here's
Of
the
course.
top 5 of each one? I think it'd be fun just to go Green New Deal, UBI, LG. I can just make videos, content. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But speaking of volunteers, kick-ass volunteers, Spider-Man.
Oh my God. I just haven't seen that name in a while.
So Spider-Man has been volunteering for us, helping us edit. He's in the West Coast like you are, and he's an all-nighter kind of guy. So when we get done live streaming, I send it to Spider-Man with time tags, and he edits that stuff up, and he's helped me turn around this content quicker without me having like go to work all day, then come home and hope there's not a basketball game, a football game, a practice to go to, and I don't get to it till midnight the next day. Now it actually gets turned over pretty quickly, and he's doing all the editing, which is a huge burden off of my shoulders. I just gotta make thumbnails and all the the details, but people like Spider-Man are
the outtakes are amazing too.
he's actually done some pretty damn funny.
Oh, he's got a great sense of humor. You see all the stuff he's done. It's he's talented. Yeah.
Well, he did. I you know what? I have to show you one he did of Mia. That's absolutely the funniest damn thing he's done so far. Oh, where would that be at? Mia, did I send that to you?
You did. You did send that.
It's in a DM, right? In your DMs. Okay, let me see. Sorry, guys, I have to share this with Tom.
I love it.
Yeah, go for it.
Tom is gonna love this shit.
I think Spider-Man may have done like my first show trailer of previous guests saying hello, nerds. So.
Oh, really? That is cool.
Yeah, very 2 years ago. So thank you, Spider-Man. I appreciate that. I think it was Spider-Man.
Yeah. He says he'd be willing to help you out as well if you needed it.
Oh, dude, be careful.
Careful what you do.
You're going to get an email from Tom at ofthepeople.us.
You can write a check you can't cash. Yeah, I'm gonna do a search on my hard drive that I have. Mia.
Hey, Spider-Man, it'd be cool to do like a visual of like the top trending OTP candidates, like all their faces. Then we can tweet it out. That would be kind of fun.
Oh, dang it. Where is this damn thing of Mia? Shoot.
Why don't
Oh,
you?
Elizabeth Morris is
Yeah.
here. We have nice
yeah.
audience overlap between our shows.
Yeah, Elizabeth is definitely a Michigan person here too, as well. That she's been here from the get, man. I mean, she is way back.
Yeah,
Of
she's
course, Vaughn's always in the house. Another one.
that's right, Vaughn. Dude, we must have like very strong overlap between nerds
Oh, I
and
think we
Trickle.
do for sure, especially the ones that are still around. Because that's the problem
Yeah.
is people kind of flaked out at the end, like, oh well,
Yeah.
Andrew's out, I'm out. I don't give a shit about politics no more. And then bam,
That's right. Yes, there were a
Yep.
lot of people who never were into politics, and then Andrew drew them in. But then, as soon as he canceled his campaign, then they kind of went back to usual.
Well,
But I'm
yeah.
glad there were some that stuck around. I think a lot of us who were into politics before Andrew have stuck around because we just find it interesting, and it'll be interesting to see what old Mr. Yang does. Do you have any predictions
Well,
or
I
hopes?
he can't have 3 losses in a row.
Mm,
He's got to get a win. So
mm,
to me, the book is going to be the easiest win. It's a layup for him now.
mhm.
I've actually reached out to the people like, hey man, can he come on and just let's promote the book on our channels, man. Let's make
That'd
a
be great.
circuit with us
Yeah.
people that actually helped him. Like I know you're gonna go on Rogan and all that, but
Yeah, exactly.
help a brother out, man. We'll help you. And I already bought the book, man. I pre-ordered it and everything. I'm ready to get that sucker.
Yeah, I haven't bought the book because I'm very frugal. But if he did come on the channel, I would buy the book, and I would buy it like right there, live.
Or what you
That's
could
a
do,
promise.
you could help him out directly, but being indirect is what you do is I'm going to be making a new what's it, Audible
Mm-hmm.
affiliate link and generate resources for the Trickle Up while helping Andrew Yang buy a book, and you could get you download and use our
great
link.
idea.
You
That's a
get
great
2
idea.
free downloads from Audible.
Yeah,
Download both his books.
yeah,
That helps him, it helps us, and it helps Audible. Everybody wins.
yes.
So those little
like
things
it.
we can do, just like we did back in the day with Amazon giving us free $5 for content creators on Twitch or whatever it was, and
Mhm.
I signed up for that just to go help out Problem Solver Politics back then because I really like what they're doing, and I gave
Are
them.
they still putting stuff out? What happened to them?
I haven't heard much.
Hmm.
The only people making actual content anymore is me, you, or us really, and you, and what the hell, Russell with
Oh yeah.
they took a break and they're back, and then Read My Lips is making content
Oh,
again.
that's great.
Yep, he's
That's
back.
great.
So it's floundered, man. And I get it. The juice isn't worth the squeeze after a while when you're working your ass
Yeah.
off to get 100 views. It sucks.
Is Matt Skidmore still doing anything, or?
He took a time out on social
Yeah.
media altogether for a while there.
I mean, he was pretty leaned in for the New York mayor.
Yeah, he
race.
was. He was all in.
It seems
Yep.
like he was full time almost, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, he lived in New York for 3
Oh, yeah.
weeks straight there and just hit it hard. But yeah, so we gotta. I'm not going nowhere. I don't give a shit. I'm not going nowhere.
I love it.
This is my thing, guys. This is my new passion project. I go to work all day so I can do this with you guys at night. That's the reality of it. Just as long as I can eat and have my bills paid, my kids are happy, I'll be here.
I feel similarly.
It's,
A lot of people say like, "Oh, how do you have time to do the YouTube channel?" I'm like, man, that is like joy for me. I enjoy doing it. Like,
yeah,
I love meeting people and asking, learning about their campaigns and stuff. So, but yeah, I think if Andrew, I was thinking about this the other day. Andrew, he has this challenge where the most like high probability roles for him, like U.S. Senate or maybe a gubernatorial run, like those are very credible, but he wants to do like much broader things, which are almost always like, that's like going for the hole in one,
Yeah, it's a big swing.
And I agree with you. A third campaign that doesn't pan out like would be a tough one. So Like if he ran for Congress, like he would almost be sure, not
Yeah.
almost sure, but he would have a very high probability, or certainly higher than president or mayor of New York.
But
But I don't know if he wants to do that, like because he wants to be an executive leader, not a legislator.
Right. And so I really do think he's going to double down on a universal basic income as a thought leader.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might double down on the podcast. I'm not sure, but I think he's focused on the book and then recording the audio for Audible. So I did see him tweeting that thing out about in the studio with his headphones. And he so I think he's going to focus on that for a while and just really promote the shit out of that book and make the circuit. And then I think he's going to be doing more public appearances again. And then he's going to double back around and kind of stick his finger up in the air and see which way the wind blows and say, okay, what's going on now? What's going on now? Kind of reassess his whole situation.
Yeah.
It's tough to lose two big ones.
The other thing he could do is focus his efforts on identifying and supporting a whole stable of candidates. I think a lot of us were thinking that the Humanity Forward kind of effort was going to be along those lines. So you don't have to put your name on the ballot and kind of, try and go for, these very low probability roles. But if you could support a slate of 20 people running for Congress and really campaign with them and really get and energize their campaigns, that would be another way for him to get some wins, because some of the 20 will get there, and
that would be another pretty big flip around for Humanity Forward right now, though, because during the New York campaign, we were really not allowed to bring up Andrew Yang even because of the overlap and things that have happened with the Clinton Foundation, our revolution, anything where there's extra monies on the side for some other project. If there's too much linkage between that and the candidate, or if there's too much political endorsements going on, it could blow back. So I haven't seen him back in Humanity Forward yet.
Yeah.
I don't know about us supporting candidates for a while. I haven't heard anything yet, but I've got ears out for that. I would love to be actively supporting candidates through them again.
Yeah. I mean, even if all Andrew did were have his own list of candidates that by the way, he could create his list of approved candidates on ofthepeople.us.
Hey, let's tag the shit out of him.
Because if he just personally said, okay, I like these 20, I'm going to go co-headline fundraisers for them. I'm going to go and invite them on my podcast. Like, it's a huge deal.
Well, he did that once on Yang Speaks, where he had like three or four candidates. He's done that. I think that'd be a big thing he could do for his podcast, is using that as a way to, catapult others. Speaking of the OGs, we got Russell's in the house here.
Hey, Russ.
Anyone who jumps ship isn't hardcore Yang Gang. Yeah, man.
That's right.
It's we definitely inspired a lot of people.
For sure. I mean, he definitely beat expectations for the presidential. That NYC mayoral was a tough pill to swallow. That was harder than losing the presidential because it felt like it was within our grasp. But, it
was not even close.
Terrible freaking outcome.
It was not even close.
Yeah.
It was unique about New York because you didn't have to rank a second person. Which a majority of people did. Have you seen the breakdown of the RCV from New York?
That it wouldn't have changed much, right? That it kind of aligned with the first choice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's first choice or F the rest. It was like people didn't I think it was like 20-something% of the Yang supporters, first voters, ranked no one second. And same thing for Maya Wiley, same thing for Eric. Like 20-30% said it's this person or nobody. And that kind of defeats the purpose of ranked choice voting.
It does.
I think that a lot of it is just habitual, though, right? Like, we're not used to that as a people. We've been raised to really want that competitive hard edge and to want to split off and say, my candidate's better than your candidate. And if you want me to go to your side, well, screw you.
Well, and I think because this is an easy fix too for RCV is to say, New York City, now you got to require 3, or your vote don't count. Just do 3. It's a minimum. I think it's a way to fix that kind of one-sided voting.
I don't know. I kind of have issues with telling people who they can and can't vote for and how many people they have to vote for and that sort of thing too, though.
Okay, so guys, Tom is on the edge of his availability window, and I'm sure he's gonna get the broom in the upstairs.
Well, the weird thing is, the boys are upstairs and they're really quiet, and that generally means they're up to no good. Because if they were screaming and laughing and banging on the door, like I'd be like, okay, we go.
Yeah, we're still good.
Normal, but they're like really quiet. So who knows? Maybe they're like burning down the kitchen.
Doing a chemistry test in your house.
They're probably mixing all the detergents. I remember I did that when I was little.
Oh goodness gracious!
Weird gas kind of like.
Oh no!
Totally toxic concoction.
Well, so guys, again, ofthepeople.us. You can volunteer. You can email Tom at ofthepeople.us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then donate
through Sass and Sheridan because they didn't make it to the top yet. I'll honor the bet up until midnight Pacific time today.
There we go.
But right now, Sass is number 2 and Sheridan is number 4.
Yep.
So go vote to approve them.
Yes.
But you can approve as many candidates as you like. You don't have to pick just one.
Yep.
And
yep.
The algorithm will rank them.
And how can they support OTP?
Oh yeah, on ofthepeople.us, there's a link to our Patreon page, and we have a number of Patreon supporters, including you boys and Eric Sanchez and about 20 people, and that helps pay for our like email server, our web like hosting costs, our licensing fees for some of our software development tools, and things like that.
It adds up so quick too, man.
Yeah, and they're all monthly subscriptions, so you kind of have to pay them every month. So, but we've been very lucky to have support there. And as we get more funds, we might do some marketing to kind of promote the site and then promote the candidates who are trending. So it's kind of like free exposure for the candidates.
All right, man. We appreciate your time again, Tom.
Thanks for having me on, boys. Good to see you again, Mia.
And goodbye, nerds.
Goodbye, nerds. Peace.
See you guys. Awesome. All right, guys. So I fucking love Tom, man.
That was super fun. That was a good conversation.
He's just one of the best. I look up to him. I think he does a damn good job. He's such a skilled person. It just blows my mind what he's doing with his volunteers. It's just crazy. And he's a Harvard grad, man. This dude is super intelligent, man. It's crazy. But so we got 2 more articles we're gonna cover tonight for you guys. So you want to start with the COVID one, or you want to go to the other one about the Capitol? Let's do the Capitol shooter first. Or
sure
defender. Thing. All right. Okay, guys. Let's see if we can change some minds tonight. What's first up on the trickle up for us tonight, Mia?
Well, first we're going to talk about an officer who no. We're not doing that. First, we're going to talk about the officer who shot Ashley Babbitt during the Capitol riots, breaking their silence. About 60 to 80 House members and staffers were holed up inside, and it was Byrd's job to protect them. During the Capitol riot, he's the one who shot and killed Ashley Babbitt, and as rioters rampaged through the Capitol, Byrd and a few other officers of the U.S. Capitol Police set up a wall of furniture outside the doors.
Yeah.
It's a long story.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've kind of all heard a lot of it so far already, really. I'm looking over this and a lot of the details.
I think it's brave of him to put his name out there in his face, because that is there's been threats made on his life as it is before he's even known. And then all these people are like, well, bring him out. And he's like, bitch, it's me. You know, I like that he took control and said, you know what? Yeah, it's me. I did my job. And there's 100 people in the Senate who thank me for it. Because the lady that rushed him, she knew damn well, if you go past this point, we're going to shoot you. There's a guy, there's more than one officer standing with a gun pointing at that door jamb saying, if you come through here, it's over. It's donezo. You know, and unfortunately, she's the one that didn't believe him.
Yeah.
And she's a military veteran that knows damn well what's up. But that delusion, this rage, this mass hysteria, you know.
You were saying about the he was being targeted even before his name was actually released. That's it was released on right-wing media. It was leaked beforehand, and they started to harass him there.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He also was Trump himself declared that she had been murdered and suggested falsely that the officer who shot her worked for a high-ranking Democrat. So he basically sicked his guys on him.
Yeah,
there's no, when a former president tells his insane following, this guy murdered one of your own, he's basically telling them, go fuck with this guy.
Yeah.
Well, it's clear.
It's no different than the January 6th riots where he says, we're going to go down there. We're going to let them know how unhappy we are with Mike Pence has got to do his job. I hope he has the bravery and the spine. You know, it's this constant motivation and incitement to backhand suggestions of violence, you know. And he's playing these stupid ass games. He's a professional con man. He knows what not to say and what to say to not get in trouble legally. But I think that shit does not hold up in civil court. And I think that this officer should sue whichever media leaked it flat out. Flat out sue their freaking pants off, man. This is disgusting. You're exposing this man to some real freaking nuts. Straight up nuts. It's really sad that this guy's going through this. He did his job. Don't worry about all the people that were killed there at the riots, that were killed by the protesters, the insurrectionists. But this guy's brave, man. He's like, you know what? Yep, it's me. And he said here in the article, I waited as long as I could and said, please don't cross that thing. But I have to do my job. I have to protect these people because there are threats on those people's lives every day. Like, think about the senators that are threatened every single day. That reminds me of Cori Bush had a Twitter thread of like 15 different death threats she got on Twitter. She released all of them and said, this is what I deal with every day, guys. 15 death threats she put on Twitter. If you just go look her up on Twitter and look at her feed when it says something about death threats, you'll find it in the Twitter search engine where people are calling all kind of racial names and just saying to kill her, that she should be raped and killed, kidnapped, whatever, held for treason, all kinds of dumb shit. So this guy's job was to protect those people who have valid death threats against him on a regular basis. And who's to say this lady didn't have a bomb on her or another weapon, a knife, a bat, which they all had bats and knives and stuff that was found on these people. Zip ties.
It was a chaotic scene. He had no way of knowing. What he did know was she was not going to stop.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, the right is turning her into a bit of a martyr because she was an Air Force veteran and unarmed.
They're hiding behind that bullshit.
And she was unarmed. But yeah, they're really trying to frame him as like the villain in this.
Yeah.
It's
typical right-wing bullshit projection.
It's like we're living in two separate timelines. And one of them is made and fueled purely by insanity.
Yeah. Half of us see a 6, the other half sees a 9.
Yeah.
And it's just that kind of altered reality where people think that he's literally murdered her. No. But they think the cops should get away with murder. So really? It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, there's way too many loopholes. Mental gymnastics, as it were.
Yes. And that's the thing. To be in that, because you guys go back and actually watch the footage, man, it is scary. It is scary as shit. And their lives they believe their lives were in danger. They were saying they're looking for Nancy Pelosi, they're looking for AOC, they're looking for Mike Pence to get them and do whatever. Who knows? And by the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene giving tours the day before with these people, and that other psycho that pumped his fist, what's his name? Shoot. From Missouri. I can't remember his name. But there's 2 or 3 different U.S. Congress people that were giving tours the day before. And saying, okay, this is Nancy Pelosi's office. Here's AOC's office. Here's these Democrats' offices. Oh, yeah, this is the back hallway to this. This is how we get into there. And then no shit.
There's an actual hangman's noose erected out.
Yes. Outside there. Absolutely.
Functional.
Yep. What is this? Strangely enough, as Andrew taught us, demonizing others is just a symptom of the underlying disease. And while we need to treat symptoms, nothing will fundamentally change until we eradicate the D. Eradicate the D. Okay, I think he just ran out of characters. Yeah, I get that. Not demonizing people, but you have to talk facts. Those motherfuckers were insurrectionists. Period. It's a failed coup.
Well, also directly denying reality. You have to be able to say, no, that's crazy. When you are inventing new realities, it's not demonizing somebody to say, no, that's not what happened. It's literally not what happened. You can't say that's what happened. I want to shake you because you're so wrong. Like that's not demonizing somebody when you're trying to get the truth to just be what they're saying.
Yeah. So I gotta say, man, this is another disgusting example of people in trusted positions leaking information that will endanger someone. That's a problem. So I don't know what we can do about that. About holding people liable for leaking stuff to media sources. Same thing for websites hosting this information. Like they tried to go after the same guy that's on shit. Oh, dang, my bad, Bobby. I said booby. Oh boy. Anyway, but yeah, like I don't know how we can fix this because there is a freedom of speech. First Amendment protected freedom of speech, and it allows for anonymous sources and stuff like that, right? But I'm not sure how we can fix this, where we have public officials and insiders that are being trusted with this information to not leak it, and they leak it to specifically endanger this person's life. That's a problem. I don't know how to fix it. Nobody does yet. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think about that in the comments section, man. How do we fix this? How do we protect
relocation programs?
What's that?
Witness relocation programs, like give them new social media identities and.
Yeah, man. I don't know, but like, it's like, how do we protect people like him from doing their jobs? How do we protect whistleblowers? They're coming after whistleblowers for this shit too, which they are. They should be protected by law, but they're not. And you have the president of the United States calling for their heads on shit that happened with him, right? So I don't know, man. It's just pretty disturbing that we got to find a way to protect people, and then also hold people accountable for endangering lives. So it's a slippery slope. And I'm no legal expert. I'm just some guy, right? But hopefully some of you guys out there know more about this type of things than I do. and you guys can comment on it below for us. And just let us know what you think about that. But while you're here, of course, give the video a like, hit subscribe, ring notification bells for upcoming videos. And thanks for joining us. And like always, go read a book. Yeah, and Russell says here, Q ran deep in this one. That's why they did those tours. You'd be amazed at how deep it went before January 6th. It was a psyop that even some of the power felt. Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, for sure. We have Marjorie Taylor Greene's in Congress, man. She's a legit QAnon turd. Straight
As
up.
far as the PSYOP stuff goes, I know for sure that at the very least, there were independent citizens who used to be higher ranking or involved in counterintelligence and such, who were indeed definitely trying to stir stuff using the information they had and the way and those tactics. I mean, if you're trying to onboard people into this insurrection, you need some people who know how to, I guess, twist things.
Yeah. Did you see that now that they're subpoenaing whatever? They're going to use subpoenas for phone records for all the politicians up there. And now that that's happened, Jim Jordan's like, yeah, I did talk to Donald Trump on the January 6th when he was denying it up and down before. Now he's like, yeah, I did have a couple of conversations with him during the insurrection on January 6th. So this is going to get real interesting. And of course, this is going to take for fucking ever. This is going to take forever. And by the time the shit comes out, it'd be a whole nother election cycle. You know, like, who gives a shit? It's too late, man. Yeah, it's crazy. How long this is going to take? It's been a year and a half. Wait, no, that's year and a half is COVID. It's only been 7-8 months, but still a long damn time.
January.
Done. Yeah, January 6th, man. So it'll be eight months in a couple next week. Yeah. But let's see here. Let's get the next one going. You said, oh, you have the COVID surge. What's that?
You have choices.
Yep. So we got the COVID surge, ending unemployment benefits had little impact on jobs, fueled too many. Okay. Okay, that one. That's the last one, right? Let's see here. What's it now? It's 10 o'clock now. You got time for one more?
Yeah, I do, but I think I am getting a bit laggy. I've been hearing echo on your end and such.
Uh-oh.
So.
Let's do the COVID infection shortages. That's a shorter one. The other one's a little bit longer. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that one. All right, guys. Let's see if we can change some minds. Fuck off, boys. All right. Cut 2. I need to buy one of those little cutters, you know. All right, guys. Let's see if we can change some more minds tonight. What's up next on Alomia?
Well, we're going to talk about a surge in COVID-19 infections leading to shortages in hospital beds and staff originally, but now we've got an even bigger problem. Now we're losing oxygen. Hospitals in parts of the South are running out of oxygen supply as COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations continue to rise. It's driven by people who remain unvaccinated and the Delta variant. Several hospitals in Florida, South Carolina, Texas, and Louisiana are struggling with oxygen scarcity. Some are at risk of having to use their reserve supply or run out of oxygen imminently. That's scary. With the continued uptick in COVID-19 cases, there has been more demand for oxygen supply, and hospitals cannot keep up the pace to those needs.
Well, and you know, this goes back to something that happened in India a few months ago, is where they had something similar where they had a huge surge where they had so many people in the hospital on oxygen, they ran out of oxygen supplies. There wasn't enough beds. And so people were getting, so if you can't have oxygen, they give you steroids. And what the steroids do? Suppresses your immune response. So people in India were having this black, moldy discharges from their nose, nasal infections, and losing sight because of this new problem. So it looks like it's finally coming to us here. We're going to have a problem where there's going to be a bunch of people having some new type of symptoms because they are being put on steroids. And doing that risks their mortality rate, because you only stay on steroids for so long. It's not good for your body. It will kill your immune system like HIV, right? So then you're very, very vulnerable to just a basic cold or flu or any kind of infection, or molds, all that kind of stuff. There's no immune system. So with these steroids, they give it through your nose as a nasal spray. And that's what kills your nasal passages. And that gives you a high risk of infection of a nasal infection. So we run out of oxygen supplies. There's nobody getting oxygen. People will die. And then the people that don't die get steroids, which leads to an infections of other types that risk their lives. So as a healthcare worker, this just hurts to hear that there's more of this stuff happening.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. I see medical director at Jupiter Medical Center, El Haddad, I hope I'm saying his name right, says we're seeing the patients die faster with this Delta variant. This round, we're seeing the younger patients, 30, 40, 50 years old, and they're suffering. They're hungry for oxygen, and they're dying. Unfortunately, this round, they're dying faster. It's that's going to be accelerated. I mean, that's what the ventilators were doing, was saving people who couldn't breathe. That's what the RV was for.
Yeah, I actually just went to my girlfriend's class reunion. And one of her classmates is a nurse in Detroit. And he said it was so bad in Detroit that they had to offer housing for their nursing staff to stay there instead of going home to their families. I think we can't afford that again. In these major cities where it's going to be really bad. It's just really, I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. It's just get vaccinated. And so her classmates had been together since high school. She was a lawyer. He's a nurse. And she knows dozens of people that she knew personally that died the last time around. And one took 3 days, and 5 days, young, under 40. Somewhere in their 50s, but that's what we're up against. It's gonna happen again if we don't watch it, man. And I think it said in this article that Dr. Fauci, which people have their suspicions about his predictions, but he did tell Jake Tapper on CNN that you can see an additional 100,000 deaths from COVID-19 by December. And this is according to the University of Washington model, and it can be cut in half by masking and social distance. Hiccups. And social distancing. It really is that easy. But people will refuse. They just don't give a shit. I don't know. That's where we're at, folks. I still wear my mask everywhere I go. Me and my girlfriend do. And schools are starting up. Tomorrow's the first day of school here in Michigan in some schools. And then next week, the rest of them start after Labor Day weekend. So I'm nervous that Michigan will see a spike as soon as the schools open up.
We probably will. Particularly since an article that I didn't put in here that was related, but I decided not to, was about how we're having protests still about the mask mandates and such, even here in Michigan still.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we going to do, man?
Well, I did see an article about one unvaccinated teacher, elementary school teacher, got 22 of her students and 5 parents got COVID from her directly.
And nurses and teachers are starting to walk out just because of how disrespected they feel when they see somebody.
Mm-hmm. Well, and overwhelmed, burnt out, man. I think there's going to be some legal ramifications down the road for people that knowingly expose people, man. Kind of like there used to be lawsuits for HIV people that gave people HIV on purpose. Elizabeth Norris says, whatever that county's name is, has a high level of COVID transmission today. There will be no mask mandates, so of course there won't. I don't know. Yeah, very good point. Bobby says, with vaccination efficacy waning by month 8 and perhaps as early as month 5, we need to keep up COVID protocols like masking, social distancing, and washing, etc. Yeah. Well, we don't have enough information really on the whole efficacy of it because, like I just interviewed the immunologist and she's like, hey, we don't have enough information. We don't know what the average is yet. And it doesn't matter because you can still get COVID when you're vaccinated.
It's
not
just
like you're
way
free of it.
less severe, and you're not likely to die.
Right.
At all likely to die. But they're saying, one of the things they do say in these articles is, like, it's unvaccinated people who are coming into the hospitals. Vaccinated people may be getting the Delta variant, but it's not causing a disruption in their lives to the point that they're on ventilators or dying. That should mean something.
Yeah. Yeah, 52% is fully vaccinated in this country. And even less in some states like South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Louisiana. And Louisiana's got enough problems with this damn hurricane. Now these people are going to be shoved into centers with no masks. We're going to see a huge spike, I think, in Louisiana, more than already was, because now these people are being shoved into shelters, into gymnasiums with cots lined up wall to wall like before. And it's going to be a problem, man.
And the variants, man, more variants coming.
Yep.
There's Delta Plus, there's Lambda.
Yeah. And Sass has a good point here. He's in Texas, school districts are fighting the governor over being allowed to implement mask mandates. Yeah. They've actually been slick about it, which I like it. They're like, okay, we're going to make it part of the dress code. And that kind of, haha kind of thing, but we'll see. Yeah, so previously CDC said that COVID is spreading via droplets, but now they're saying that it's also spread by merely breathing the same air. Well, no, breathing the same air is droplets. There's droplets in the air, right? So when you shine a light in the room, you see shit all over the place. That's stuff, droplets are part of it. But definitely in the same room, man. Yeah. I don't think you even have to cough. Some of these people, like you're saying, Bobby, some of this data is still coming through showing that just breathing in the same room, not socially distanced and stuff like that, could be, if there's no circulation, is a problem as well. Yeah, right, Bobby. Yeah, I got you. By breathing, right? Yeah, you don't like the droplets are from coughing, but there are droplets that are so small they just kind of keep floating in the air anyway. Kind of like sneezing and coughing. There's the big ones that you see, and there's a little fine mist that you don't see that just kind of dances on the wind currents, in the room. But yeah, and then it lives on the surface of stuff like doorknobs and touch pads on ATMs and gas pumps and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah. Man, we're all gonna die, vaxxed or unvaxxed. Let's focus on Yang 2024. Did I mention his book is on the way? I'll let you know if it's good. Go Buckeyes and get your shot. There you go, brother. Go blue.
We're all gonna die, vaxxed or unvaxxed.
Well, I got, I think Russell's bullshit. They're trying to get me triggered on that shit, man. Because it's like saying I'm gonna go smoke cigarettes. I'm gonna die smoking or not smoking. Yeah, well, one of them's fucking stupid though.
Well, I'll tell you what. I finally made a decision that I am going to start unfollowing people who I see who are actively saying that they support people who aren't vaccinating. Not because I think that they don't have a right to say it, but because I don't want to be part of that cycle of misinformation. So I don't want that to be on people I know's recommended feed because somebody I know was saying it. That's me being an outlet for them. That's me accelerating their platform. So I think, I know that I'm probably going to get told that that's cancel culture, but
it's your feed. You can cancel anybody you want on your own feed.
I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
And also, I just don't want to be a part of that cycle. That's not really, it's not something I'm telling other people to do.
Yeah.
It's not like a protest. It's just, If you're spreading misinformation or you're encouraging people to do things that I think are unhealthy or dangerous, I can't support that.
Well, and I'm a healthcare worker, guys. I take this very fucking serious. It applies to me directly. Like every day I go into homes where there's no circulation and I have to go in and mask up and do my job and risk it every damn day again, man. I'm sick and tired of worrying about this shit. I am. I'm really sick and tired of saying, okay, because I have to check my temperature every fucking morning. And one of these days it's going to be high. It just is. One of these days it will. And I don't know if it's from COVID or do I got a flu or what the fuck ever, right? So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like having this constant worry about doing my job. It sucks.
Why we haven't ramped up production of N95 masks or passing them out free is a mystery. It's actually not a mystery. Trump told them not to. There was a program to send them for free via the U.S. Postal Office, and he just basically said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
It almost happened.
Well, and Cherie says she's law enforcement. She takes it very seriously. Yeah, jail's got a problem too. They're paid to keep people corralled in small, tight spaces. It sucks, man. Like I think it's in Chicago, Illinois, 30% of their COVID cases was in Cook County Jail in Chicago. Yeah, it's pretty tough, man. You know, law enforcement, you're getting screamed at in your faces and shit, and people are really getting close, you know. Yeah. But yeah, guys, so this is just where we're at.
Trump may no longer be president. I'm sorry, I'm getting caught up in the comments here.
Yeah.
Trump may not be president anymore, but once you put a wrench in the workings of a bureaucracy, nothing's ever the same again. That's why our lives are so screwed up. Like anytime somebody throws a monkey wrench into the works, it's years before this stuff re-rolls back around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, JC's vax. Yeah. Well, yeah. There is a definite difference between anti-vax and people are just like, man, COVID, I don't know. But now there's more information. Again, guys, I was not going to put something in my body I didn't have more information about. So when my employer came to us and said, hey guys, we're going to offer it to you starting late December, early January. Here's the information on the studies. They sent us it. I went through it. I was like, it took me a while. Is quite the report, but you know, you get the information and then you make a decision. I was like, I'd rather do this and take those risks than this risk of not getting it and being exposed to this. So it's risk analysis for me. It was very simple. And now we've had more done and more done. We know way more information. It's very, very stable, very safe. There's very few side effects. And so that's how I look at it, man. I have to be 100% promoting it, and I will fucking beg people to get it done. You know, so big ups to anybody that's hesitant and go get it done because it really is. It's better than a mask. It's more effective than social distancing is getting the vaccine. Purely. And if you get it, you don't have complications for the most part. There's breakthrough cases and everything, but it won't overwhelm our oxygen supplies won't be tapped out like it is right now in Florida. What does that article say? Florida, Louisiana, South Carolina. Oh, hell, where'd that go? Florida, South Carolina, Texas, and Louisiana. Yeah, they have the oxygen scarcity. But that's what we're dealing with. And those are some big states. Lots of people. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jason says she listened to This Week in Virology. Good information to get there too.
There's a difference between information seeking and disinformation spreading, though. I'm not saying I'm like blocking people who are like, do you know what the vaccine rates are? Or, you know, asking questions or are genuine. Just the people who are like, don't do it. Or I support your right not to do it. You don't need to encourage them.
Bobby, dude. Bobby, my guy, this is stupid. Alternate treatments. Ivermectin, dude, is not an alternate treatment. Neither is vitamins. These are not alternate treatments. They're not. They're fucking ridiculous. Ivermectin is for animals. And people taking ivermectin are shitting themselves. That's all they're doing. They're getting sick. It's just fucking ridiculous. Ivermectin is not an alternate treatment. It just isn't. Taking care of yourself, eating your vitamins, saying your prayers, brother. Joe Rogan, Hulk Hogan style, right? That's not a treatment. That is not a treatment. None of that shit's a treatment. A treatment, getting the vaccine, wearing your mask, social distance. That's all you can do. All this other shit is hearsay and wishful thinking. There's no data to back this up, especially fucking ivermectin. I don't want to hear that shit ever again because that is ridiculous. It's a dewormer for fucking cows, man. It's just incredible. Ivermectin is not. I have to squash that shit. That is terrible. Prophylactics, man. No way. Sorry, I'm a healthcare worker. I got to shut that shit down. That is awful.
That's a lot to take in there, Bobby. That's a lot to take in. That's all I'm gonna say.
Where'd that go? Not true. Ivermectin has been used as human treatment for parasites. No shit, parasites.
Not viruses.
Parasites. But the shit they're taking is for animals, not for human consumption. Read the fucking bottles, man. It tells you not for human consumption. It's sold at a fucking farm store, not at Rite Aid. If it's for you, it's at Rite Aid, not at fucking Farm and Fleet. Come on, man. You got to think harder than this, man. Ivermectin is used for human treatments for parasites. Human treatments. Not
I take Claritin when I have my allergies. I don't go get a vaccine for my allergies. You take the right cure for the right thing.
Right. But here's the thing, Bobby. When you say ivermectin, it doesn't matter. Ivermectin has not been shown to be an effective, even the right human trial version for parasites. It has zero data to back that up. Zero. And if you have some information, please share it because I'd love to hear it because like I said, I brought this up with the virologist and she's like, there is no data to support that at all. Yeah. So the ivermectin, man, it's not a valid treatment. It's for parasites. Ivermectin, according to CDC, has antiviral and anti-cancer properties, but it's not a treatment.
So, like a lot of things have antiviral and anti-cancer properties.
So does blueberries, right?
Yes, antioxidants are in blueberries. Right. But there is a difference between having a nominal effect on something and being a cure for something. Like you get a statistical boost to your antibiotics from having antioxidants in your system. It's not going to cure anything.
Yeah. It is not the best treatment. Period. The vaccine is. It is the safest, most effective way. It is not ivermectin. It is not taking B12 or all these other bullshit Joe Rogan talking points. I like Joe Rogan, but he is fucking dead wrong on this shit.
I am
Take care of your body, bro. Take care of your body, bro. Man, fuck off. Perfectly healthy people are dying of this shit.
Please do not spread that. I feel sad now. This is how we're ending.
Well,
that makes me sad.
All I gotta say is there's data. So if people accept ivermectin data but not accept the vaccine data, that's a problem, right? There's more data supporting it for the vaccine than any other treatment. That's all I gotta say.
I think the criticism isn't not taking care of the body. I think that the criticism is that the things he's suggesting to take care of the body don't take care of the body.
I'm not saying don't care of your body. Yeah, I know. It's stupid to say don't take care of your body. But the stupid thing to say is you won't get it if you take care of your body. It's not a fucking treatment. It's not a treatment. It's not a preventative. There is no treatment. There is no preventative for taking care of your fucking body. Joe Rogan's dead fucking wrong. He's fucking dead wrong. And I think it's endangering people by saying stupid shit like that. Again, guys, I'm a healthcare worker. I will not back down on this shit. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've lived it. I'm in the fucking front lines. I'm telling you right now. None of this bullshit matters. All this data. All this
Having a
data.
strong immune system only helps so much. It's not a cure, and it's not going to stop you from getting COVID. The only thing that's going to stop you from getting COVID, your immune system builds up from getting diseases. Like, I'm very frustrated with this logic, and I think I need to stop.
Okay, so people with weaker immune systems are more at risk. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, man, you guys are dead fucking wrong. All there is to it is people are saying just take care of your body, take your vitamins, say your prayers or whatever, right? That is not an effective preventative, and it's definitely not a treatment. Ivermectin is not a preventative and is not a treatment. A preventative, social distancing, wearing a fucking mask. A treatment is getting the vaccine. It's a treatment, and that's not a treatment, sorry, a preventative. Treatment is oxygen, steroids, and all kinds of fucking meds. Try to keep your heart from going into heart attack, and your liver from failing, your kidney from failing, your gut from dying. So there's a difference between preventatives and treatments.
Perfectly healthy people are dying from COVID. If it were a preventative, that would not be the case. I know that more people who aren't. Oh, this is really frustrating for me.
So the vaccine, Russell, I got to correct you. The vaccine is not a treatment. It's a preventative. Right? If you have an upset stomach, a treatment is Pepto-Bismol. It relieves you of this pain or this symptom. A preventative is don't eat fucking acids or whatever, acidic foods, right? That's a preventative. Prevent the thing from happening. So the vaccine is a preventative. The treatment depends on your symptoms. So like I said, the treatment is oxygen, let me think, steroids and whatnot, right?
That's not.
Okay, Bobby, let me tell you something, brother. I've done my research. Again, I work in the healthcare field. I've interviewed the virologist. She is working on the exact fucking thing we're talking about. Because perfectly healthy people are dying does not mean we shouldn't punish healthy living. Who the fuck said anything about healthy living? Who the fuck? Okay, you guys are lost on this. Okay, listen. I didn't say don't take care of your body. That's fucking stupid. I said that it is not a preventative approach. It doesn't prevent shit. It just doesn't.
Man, I'm
you guys have fucking made me get my blood pressure up for no reason at all.
Anyway, there's a lot of condescending stuff going on here right now.
Let me see here. Entire countries have used. I'm not dealing with fucking ivermectin. I'm not discussing this shit with you, dude.
That's messed up. Yep. I'm sorry, that's messed up. It's not okay.
Talk about it. The data will turn out, man. Fuck off. The data will turn out my ass. My ass.
As bad as the people who were pushing autism is caused by vaccines. That's how bad this is. Don't do this. It's not okay. I am telling you it's not okay. I am telling you that in a few months, when you realize what you did to people by suggesting this, you will feel like shit about yourself if you are a moral human being. I am warning you ahead of time. You will feel bad about spreading that misinformation later if you have any moral bone in your body.
But Bobby, this comment is exactly what's happening though. People are using this. People are using this to say don't get the vaccine, take ivermectin. That's exactly what's happening. The anti-vaxxers are literally using this exact talking point.
Don't contribute to the problem. Don't try and validate things that aren't valid. There's no reason to. There's no reason to give it a leg to stand on. It's not real and it's not good for you.
Okay, Bobby says they're doing a study. Yeah, dude. They're doing a study about everything, right? They're
No,
studying everything at every point. They're studying everything. Doesn't make it good.
and I'm
And
not
again,
saying
Russell, it is not preventing you from contracting it. No, it's preventing you from going to the hospital with worse symptoms. It's a preventative.
And I'm also not saying I don't think you have a moral bone in your body. I'm saying that when you realize what you've done, those moral bones are going to shake you to your core.
Man.
When you realize what you are doing and how wrong you are and what you told people to do, because I believe that you are a moral human being and that I believe you're smart enough that you will figure it out, you're going to feel bad and terrible. And if you don't, then you won't have a moral bone in your body.
Vaughn says, I'm still going the Hulk Hogan suggestion. Take your vitamins and say your prayers. Listen to your parents, brother. Anyway, all I got to say is I'm going to stay out of the hospital the best I can. I took the vaccine. And if it requires a booster in another few months, and if it shows my antibodies are low, then fuck it. I'm getting the booster. It is all good. So all I can do is promote good choices. But I got to shut shit down that I don't think is agreed to help the conversation. The people that we're talking about in this article, guys, are using the exact same talking points. So think about that. Like, they're using the exact same bullshit talking points about ivermectin. I don't give a flying fuck about ivermectin. I really don't. There's not enough data. It's not an option. So oh yeah, Bobby, and the booster is available now for immunocompromised only right now, because there's no data showing that people like myself need it yet. But it will be, because just like the flu vaccine, it only lasts 9 months to a year. I think it's 9 months is what the average is that the virologist told me. The hell's her name? Chelsea. But yeah, so it's not like it's unseen. It's like, oh my God, this thing only lasts 9 months. Yeah, it probably won't. And like you said, we have more variants coming, and we don't know what's going to be effective against those. We can only just hope that it's effective. If a strain comes out that's not effective, it's going to be rough. It's a whole new shut this shit down moment, I imagine. But yeah, I'm done with this subject. It's fucking pointless talking in circles.
Yeah,
Either accept the data for what it is science, proven science, double-blind studies, control groups, the whole 9 yards, the scientific method, peer-reviewed. Yeah, and the Delta, it's very transmissible.
And there's a lot of getting hung up on technicalities here too.
Yeah.
The important thing is to just please don't spread things that aren't true. That's all I'm asking, and we'll be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you, Russell. It's semantics, but this shit matters to me, man. I'm a healthcare worker. Semantics really make a big difference when it comes to people having bad information put out. Treatment, preventative, who gives a fuck? Some people are using these talking points to not get vaccinated and to not allow their children to get vaccinated, stuff like that, so that's what worries me. And the kids that can't get vaccinated in elementary schools, man, it's rough. Under 12's in a bad spot. I'm like I said, Michigan's getting ready to go back to school tomorrow and next Tuesday after the holiday. We're gonna have massive tourism here from Chicago. It's gonna be in our area. So either you're from Chicago and you bring it, or you're from Chicago, you come here and you get it and take it back with you. That's just what it is here in Michigan. Unfortunately, it sucks, man. It really does. So we're going to see a little bump, I imagine. Hopefully not too bad here in Michigan, because I got 2 kids that are seniors, man. I hope their senior year is not ruined by this like last year's seniors were. They were robbed of their experience.
Yeah, my Toby is entering his first year at the CTC, so
yeah, man,
that's hands-on stuff.
Yeah,
he needs to be in class for that.
Yeah, my daughter. Yeah, my daughter is taking like medical assistance certificate. Yeah. Oh, Namesh, what's up, brother? I did my own research thing. Yeah, man. Research is not a Google search. It's much more. Again, I default to the virologist that I brought on here. I asked her about ivermectin directly. If I don't have a clip made of that already, I will find it and I will make another clip or make a clip of that specific thing, Bobby, and you guys can get it from her because she's the one that knows it. I default to her because she's the medical expert. I work in medicine. I'm not a medical expert like her on this. It's fun. But yeah, Namesh, man, hit me up. I got your phone number. I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna bring you back on again, or bring you back on. I want to talk about what you guys did for Medicare for All March and see what you guys are up to next too, as well, of course. And he's another law enforcement officer in Chicago. Yep. Wait, JC says we have vaccine. India had nothing when they resorted to that, but they also, as a population, are more prone to parasites. So there are the reasons it's helpful to extend it. It was. Oh, you mean as far as like the anti-parasitics? Yeah, it's possible.
I'm sorry, I gotta duck out. I think that Tristan's starting to raid the kitchen.
Okay, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. And like always, go read a book. All right. I'll talk to you later, Mia.
Bye.
All righty. Russell, come on, brother. Jump in here. No, I can't do it right now. I'm just kidding. I got to go to work in the morning. But yeah, man, gladly come on and let's talk about it again, Russell. You know I'm game, brother. Just not tonight. I got a boogie. Yeah, I got to work tomorrow. Schools, all that fun stuff. And I got to download this and send to Spider-Man, get edited. But yeah, guys, I really join you. I have no ill will towards any of you guys. I have to push back on that terminology, man. And I know there's more research to be done. Side effects can be helpful, blah, blah, blah. But the best treatment is a vaccine. I'm sorry. Preventative, Russell. But yeah, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to go kick rocks and blow bubbles, man. Take care. Later, Yang Gang.